Hello, welcome to the bird's nest. Well, the report that I did earlier that was a rumor at that time has now been confirmed by the Browns, and Kevin Stefanski has even, made a statement saying nothing about it. And so, let's see where we go from here. But first, please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL news, recaps, and gossip. So, so Dylan Gabriel is QB1, and Joe Flacco is QB2, and Shedeur will remain at QB3. And as I told you earlier, I was watching the arena last night, and even before this was confirmed, I don't even think they knew they didn't know at the time that Joe Flacco, part of the rumor at the time before the reports were confirmed, that Joe Flacco was going to be QB2. They didn't know that, and so they were talking about who's going to be QB2, or somebody said it, and the room, there were 4 of them, seemed to feel that didn't matter. QB2 means nothing. They said it doesn't matter if he's QB2 or not. He's still got next, whether he's QB2 or not. So it doesn't matter, and it's better that he's not QB2, because then he's never going to get thrown in the game. If Dylan gets injured, Shedeur, as the emergency quarterback, cannot be thrown in the game. And unprepared, having had no first team reps, having plays that are not meant for him. They're meant for Dylan. They're not the same. So they said that it's best that he not be QB2. And turns out he is not. And because they said that, and they're the pros, the high-level pros, because Acho is beside himself that Shedeur is not QB2, but Acho was kind of a backup type guy himself. You really see the different energy from the backup guys to the first string guys when it comes to those vets and how they view things. So Acho's, now he's starting to believe in something's going on with Shedeur. Something is going on with Shedeur, for sure. But him being QB3 after Dylan moves up to QB1 doesn't explain it. So, he's QB3. So my thing is, now though, he's up next. He is up next, unless he does something to ruin it. So I was already thinking this. I was going to do this video, and I was thinking this. I said, he cannot say anything wrong to the media. Somehow he has to find a way to figure out what is offensive and what isn't, and not say anything offensive. I don't even know. Because they're going to ask him questions that's going to make him want to say something. So, they done already started. And I actually don't even know if this was a skit or if this was a real journalist interview. They came at him in the locker room today, and they asked him how he felt about Dylan being QB1. Shedeur is so crazy. He mouths his answer with his eyes bright. I love when his eyes are bright and he looks happy. I love that. So he had the bright eyes like when he was speaking to Mary Kay, when he looks his most Blasian Latino. You know, we might forget that our nephew is Blasian. And He just mouthed the response and no sound came out. But I was like, Neff, even with that, watch what you say, because they read in your lips, honey. You can rest assured they going to analyze what you saying with your lips, and then they going to be talking about it on the national media. It's going to be their number one story. No sound came out, but he said blah, 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 blah. Rest assured they analyzing his lips. But I think he was just moving them and smiling so bright with the chinky eyes. Oh, Lord, are you allowed to say that? I don't think you're allowed to say that. With the slanted eyes. So, good. He knows. I can't say nothing because these people, anything I say, they're going to flip it. But I hope it was a skit, because if it wasn't, they can fine him for not saying anything. Bruh. So he has to find a way to be very, very careful about what he says. Like, I doubt you can, like, consult a publicist or PR person without retaining them. Like, you can't, like, do, like, a one-time consultation. I would love for him to have that, so they can teach him the right things to say all the time and be a robot like they used to call Russell Wilson, but call him what you want. Russell done had a long career being agreeable, palatable, square. So they like that in a quarterback. Quarterbacks like Lamar and even Jalen Hurts. You see, they tried to send Shedeur to him. They was going to do something. No, I don't know. They were being messy with that, I feel. Anyway, so going forward, Shedeur is going to have to be perfect. He's already perfect in practice. He practices a lot. He practices after practice. He does the things that he needs to do. But if it's true that at some point he was sitting in the back of the meeting room, he's going to have to move back to the front where he used to be. He used to always be in the front. So now get back to the front if you weren't there already. Who knows if Rex was lying or not. And I don't know. Well, I get the impression that him and Stefanski just aren't friendly. They have never shown any kind of friendliness towards one another. And so I don't think they're friendly, but I wish you could find a way. Like, have you ever had a boss who didn't like you? See, the thing about corporate America, if your boss don't like you, they fire you. They fire you. But if you have a boss that doesn't like you, and you know they don't like you, how do you talk to them? Because I'm thinking he needs to talk to Kevin and say, Coach, what do I need to do? What is it that you want to see? And be in there taking notes and everything, so that you can be comfortable with making me QB1 sometime this season, if the opportunity arises. And find out what he wants, because, challenge him. Because it seems like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it seems like to me, they would rather talk about him behind his back, leak it to the press, than to tell him. So, I don't know. These are the things I want to happen. Who knows if they will, but some kind of way he's got to figure out what these people want. Maybe Coach Prime can talk to Andrew Berry as his agent and say, what does he need to do? Let me know what he needs to do. Maybe they've already done that. I don't know. But I know that starting from today, he needs to do everything right so that Kevin Stefanski can get comfortable with him. I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible. Because Mary Kay Cabot threatened that if Dylan doesn't work out, they go back to Joe Flacco. Well, I don't even think that's possible. I said that this morning. I don't think that's possible. I think that the team would mutiny if they tried to go back to Joe Flacco. The fans will certainly be booing him on the field at home games. So I don't really think it's possible for them to go back to Joe, but that's what Mary Kay Cabot suggested. She didn't say that, the team said it, but I don't know that everything she says is what the team says. Sometimes she must have her own thoughts. And, you know, like, she's not quite as bad as Grossi, but she's pretty bad when it comes to disparaging Shedeur. So, we'll see what happens. But hopefully nephew can do everything perfect, and so that whenever Dylan gets enough games in for them to evaluate, or he gets hurt, or he stinks up the place so bad that they have to get rid of him sooner, Shedeur will be ready. But like I said, what's his name? Deshaun is right on both of their heels. According to the injury report, he is predicted to be back in the middle of October. It's October now, so within 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I know they're going to be shoving that microphone in Shedeur's face. We'll see how that goes. Let's see how many bad reports, because they do try their hardest, and they will do whatever it takes to put out bad press on Shedeur weekly, at least once a week. He be sitting there chilling in the cut. The social media, even Twitter, like, slows down a little bit. They always talk about Shedeur every single day, 24 hours a day, but it gets slower when there's nothing for them to judge. So let's see if they'll let it slow down, or will they keep up with their weekly let's get Shedeur stunts, which usually really only takes a microphone being shoved in his face. But then again, no, because that's the big one. He can just be standing on the sideline, and they'll analyze his face, and the camera will keep going to him. At pivotal moments, the camera will go to Shedeur. It never went to Dylan. Y'all get a good look at him now. So do you even know what he looks like? Get a good look at him. So hopefully, come Sunday, Dylan will be the one being talked about on Twitter, unless he plays poorly. I think if he plays well, that'll allow the Shedeur talk to die down. And I think Shedeur needs that. It's good for his brand for us to talk about him, but he's not even worried about that right now, because he's not posting on social media. He could be posting regularly, not him, but his team posting regularly to keep his brand popping, but he's not. So I think he wants it to quiet down. So let's see if they allow it. Let's see if Dion allows it. If anybody asks Dion about Shedeur, he needs to say no comment, because just like Shedeur, he has a tendency to say the wrong thing. It's not his fault at all, not one bit. It's just that the way that they present themselves, people find it unacceptable. So judgmental. So it's best to just not say anything. I wish that Shedeur could not say anything, but he can't. When they shove that microphone in his face in the locker room, he has to say something, or they're going to fine him. So I hope that video that's going around of him just mouthing words and no sound coming out is a skit. Otherwise, that'll be the thing that they use against him this week. Oh, he want to be funny and not say nothing to the press and mouth his words. They will do that. They will do that. But I think that there is a fierce competition going on between Shedeur and Dylan. This is my opinion, not based in fact at all. It's just an opinion. I think there's a fierce battle going on, and as a result, they are not friends. They are competitors. Even though Dylan thinks that Shedeur is an entertainer, they're both highly competitive, and I don't think that they rock with each other like that. So, for sure, Shedeur don't want to answer no questions about Dylan, and he did not. I'll see if something comes out later where he actually addresses the question. But that is something that they are asking him and will use against him. They're praying he says something wrong, something slick. They're praying for that. So that's the thing that for the next month he's going to have to contend with and not allow them to catch him slipping. So we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, Dylan, for the first time, will get all of the first team reps. And he's in a good position because right now they know Flacco is not him. So you don't even need to waste reps on him anymore. Not anything, you can give him second team reps. A few. Not many. Because the expectation should be that he's not coming in. Shedeur is coming next. So Flacco doesn't need reps. Dylan needs 100% of the reps because they used to be going to Flacco. So Dylan's going to need them now, and he's going to get them. He might not have a lot of days to get them, but hey, this is a Cleveland thing. This is regular in Cleveland. They stay switching quarterbacks, and so every quarterback that comes in is coming in without having had all the reps since training camp like on normal teams. Cleveland teams don't get that. Cleveland quarterbacks don't get that. Shedeur is not getting that. Dylan is not getting that. But now he gets to have all the first team reps. But if Shedeur is pulling up the rear, they're going to have to start getting him more reps. Not just scout team reps. Scout team reps are the bomb. I love scout team reps because it's against the defense, and the Cleveland Browns have an awesome defense. So that is wonderful development for Shedeur to be getting those scout team reps. But he's going to need team reps with at least a second team, and he does have it somewhat because Gage Larvadain got elevated to the 53-man roster back to the 50. He was already on there, and they had to take him off to make room for Quinshawn. Well, they've been making moves. People have been getting injured, and so they were able to elevate Gage up to the 53-man roster. So, as long as he stays there, whenever Shedeur gets in, at least he has Gage, who he has experience with a great deal. Him and Gage got that Colorado connection type stuff going on. So that would be very good for Shedeur. And then Gage is fully baked and developed thanks to Shedeur, so he's going to look good for Dylan too. So it's going to be an exciting time. I'm very excited to watch Dylan play. I totally wish him well. I do not support, this is a personal feeling, I don't love short quarterbacks. None of them, including Bryce Young, who is my quarterback. I want him gone. I wanted us to get Shedeur. I hope, that's another thing, if Dylan turns out to be him and he takes them on a playoff run, that's wonderful. That will mean that Shedeur will never play for the Browns, and that's cool because he's getting in there early enough. They can make that determination before the trade deadline. And if Dylan turns out to be him like Kevin Stefanski wants, they could trade Shedeur. There are teams out there that need Shedeur right now. So I am more than happy if Dylan pans out. I don't think he will, because he's short. And quite frankly, personally, I have never seen a great short quarterback. Russell Wilson is short, but in the 10 years I've been watching him, he's been inconsistent. So, I'm not crazy about short quarterbacks at all. And I never expect them to do well. They never do well when I look at them, and I don't expect Dylan to do well. But I wish him luck, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that he'll turn out to be whoever the best short quarterback ever was. Hopefully he will be him and have a great career. And I will be happy for that. And then they can ship off Shedeur. And then hopefully the punishment will be over. If they ship him to a team that needs him right this minute, like the Saints. People always talk smack about, the Raiders too, but they passed on him. And Tom Brady is there. And I get the impression that even though he worked with Shedeur because of his respect for Dion, I don't think he's a fan of Shedeur. If he was, somebody would have stuck up for Shedeur and not allowed what happened to him in the draft to happen to him. So I don't see him going to the Raiders. But he can go to the Saints. I wish the Panthers would take him. So they need somebody. Who else is who's there's only 2 teams left that haven't won a game. I know the Titans is one, and of course they're not moving off of Cam, and Shedeur doesn't need to be there with Cam, because that would just be bad. But you know what, I could see the NFL doing something shady like that, because they know that they're besties, and send Shedeur off to the Titans. Cam been struggling, and to have them competing for a job would be horrible. It would be horrible for their friendship. They're both competitive. I told y'all, Cam got into a fight with one of his teammates, and the media didn't have a problem with that. If that happened to Shedeur, he would get kicked out of the league. I can assure you that. And the thing is, Shedeur is capable of that too. And so it would not be good for them to be together. It would be even worse than the situation on the Browns, which is toxic enough. But there are several teams he could go to. He could go to the Bengals. Maybe that's what maybe he could go to the Bengals. They need somebody right now, even though it's short term. But you know what? Shedeur could steal that job, because Joe Burrow is injury prone. But here's the problem. People always talk about sack, and Shedeur and the sacks, and the sackety sack. And I said they all get sacked. Joe Burrow gets sacked more than anybody because he has a bad O-line. Or that's what they blame it on. I don't know. I haven't watched him enough to know why Joe Burrow gets sacked so much. Why is he injury prone? But if Shedeur could get in there and somehow their offense could do something, excuse me, I think Shedeur could steal that job, because Joe is injury prone. No matter how high he ranks in the quarterback rankings every year, and he's considered elite top 5 quarterback, his team doesn't win. That's the problem. And he takes all those sacks. So if Shedeur could get that team to start winning, he could win that job from Joe, I believe. So there's a bunch of teams out there that he could be traded to. I believe the trade deadline is November 6th. That's 1 month. That gives Dylan 1 month, 4 games. I don't think there's a bye in there. I don't think there's a bye week in there in the next month. That gives Dylan time to secure the job, and then they could trade Shedeur. They wasn't trading Shedeur without finding out that one of them was him. So, and if not, if Dylan doesn't pan out, then Shedeur hopefully will not have done anything to piss the Browns off, and he can get in. So that's that. I just want to check in. It is confirmed. Dylan Gabriel is QB1. Go Dylan. And Joe Flacco QB2. And Shedeur remains at QB3. And we just have to hope that he gets some reps in preparation for when he does get in. Maybe not right away. Probably not right away. And not only, I'm about to sign off, but no, not only that. So let's say after 2 weeks, they could elevate him to QB2 just so that he could start getting reps with the second team. Again, Dylan gets all the first team reps, and he should. Especially because nobody has gotten proper preparation for this season on the Browns. None of them. Not Joe, not Dylan, not Shedeur. And Shedeur has gotten the least. Except now, he's constantly going up against the #1 defense, and that is invaluable, so he's good there. So that's that. But at some point, they got to let him gel with the offense, those wide receivers, those tight ends. The running back, no big deal on a running back, you hand him the ball. But those tight ends and those wide receivers, he needs to be allowed to gel with them. Same with Dylan. It's so weird how the Browns do things, guys. It is so weird. Handicapping their quarterbacks. We see how they keep losing. We getting to see it firsthand, up close and personal, why they keep losing. But we'll see how it goes. And this is going to be it's exciting for me. Oh, and luckily, I don't have to deal with the Browns at 1 o'clock. And I can watch other games. Good Lord. Because they play at 9:30 in the morning, because they will be in London. So I'm so excited. I'll be watching that straight from bed with some coffee, honey. I'll be right in the bed watching that one. I'm excited about that. So that's that. We are one step closer to seeing our nephew play, y'all. It's coming. Unless Dylan balls out. That's the only way it's not coming, I think. Is if Dylan balls out to the 10th hour and takes that franchise quarterback job. Well, I actually had to add this little part to my video because by the time I got all set up at home, Shedeur was trending. He's trending, y'all. People are mad at him and calling him all kinds of things for not speaking to the media and just mouthing the words and smiling. But I did say, I was hoping it was a skit because I think he can get fined for this. And it may push back his start even more. Some people are calling him immature. I mean, they all kind of things. The comments they're all negative. This is I'm speechless. He's trending. At one point, Dylan was trending, and Dylan's still trending. Dylan was trending, and Shedeur was like in little letters below him, so they were tied together. But now they're both trending separately. And the video of him mouthing the words is all over the place. It's going to be in the media tomorrow. And they ain't even done reading his lips yet. It's going to be in the media. It's going to be on all the segments. I think he's going to get in trouble for this. I got a video. Check it out. Check out a video I made. Look back. I did a video on the Sanders flaw. They have a tragic flaw. Check it out. But at this point, Shedeur needs a PR person. I don't even think I mentioned that in my Sanders flaw video. He needs a PR person. I know he's frustrated, and this is the problem. The more frustrated he gets, it seems. I don't know. Even though he my nephew, he my long-lost nephew. It seems like the more frustrated he gets, the more he's going to act out. He's never been in this position before. And I just think he doesn't know how to handle it. Now, I'm upset for him because I think he's going to get in trouble. And who knows what the extent of it's going to be. Now we got to sit back and wait for that. So, I'll come back later. Whenever we find out what the repercussions are going to be for him not speaking to the media. Damn. I didn't want him to be trending, but once I looked at my timeline and I saw that video kept popping up, I said, let me look and see if this boy's trending. And he was. Oh, my poor nephew. I feel so bad for him, but I'm so happy that he has a good support system in Cleveland and his family. And I think they need to rally around him. Somebody needs to get him a PR person. It's so sad that you can't be your authentic self without being attacked. This is what he was set up for, and I know that this situation is not going to do him any favors with the Browns, and he's going to have to get past it. Like I said earlier in the video, that I know that him and Dylan are not friends. He does not want to answer questions about Dylan. And I ain't never heard Dylan answer a question about him, nor be asked one about him. Or really be asked anything, huh? So I just wanted to come on and tell y'all that this thing that I thought, although I thought it was funny and I understood why he did it, I already mentioned that if it wasn't a skit, he was going to get in trouble for doing that. That boy is having a rough start. Anyway, I just wanted to add that on. And so now I got to say again, I'm going to have to cut it out of my last video and say, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Mwah.